Welcome everyone to the Powerhouse groundbreaking video. I don't know about you, but we have been waiting for this moment for quite some time. To be honest, we envisioned it a little bit different. We were gonna have a party right out there on the dirt where the site's being prepared for us to build 2 new buildings for our women and children's home, but this is gonna have to do. Real quick, I just want to thank all of the different pastors and leaders around our city who are premiering this video at the same time as us. I think we're actually online from 15 different organizations, so thank you guys. You guys are incredible at helping us get the word out and just for tackling this project with us. This really could not have happened without you, so thank you. In just a minute, you're going to hear from Nancy Ashley, my mother, which is weird to say, but also the executive director of Powerhouse Ministries, as she intros this project for us, a brand new residential facility and counseling center for our women and children's home here at Powerhouse. So thank you guys so much for joining us.
I'm standing here on the actual site where Powerhouse Ministries began nearly 30 years ago. So much has happened here. Thousands have come in their darkest hour, looking for hope and the opportunity to change their lives. It's here that they've experienced love, often for the very first time, and started the hard process of tearing down old destructive patterns and building a new and transformed lives. You have celebrated with them as their relationships with their children and their families have been healed and restored. And you have stood in awe as their changed lives have affected their neighborhoods and even impacted whole communities. Thousands have heard their stories and seen the reality of their transformed lives. And as a result, today, they have come. They're waiting for their own opportunity. And it's our obligation to provide them with the necessary support for them to be able to change their lives as well. This is why we must make more room. Our old decaying building has been torn down, and the empty ground lies waiting for its own transformation to begin.
Early on in 2018, we received some news that was really difficult for us, that our building was likely to not make it through another winter without a complete overhaul. It was literally falling apart. We were already using every inch that we could to house the families that were there, and this was another blow. We had a waiting list of women who were desperate to change their lives, and we were faced with a big problem. A rundown building and not enough room.
We started asking the question, how can we patch this together and make it work? In July of 2018, we partnered with HOMEAID, which is the charitable arm of the Builders Association. They surprised us and answered, what if we build 2 new buildings and renovate the existing dining hall? HOMEAID enlisted the support of Studio 81, and we began to plan and dream about what could be. Shortly after, Taylor Morrison joined our team, and we moved forward on the plans for a new facility that could serve double the amount of women and children with an additional counseling and childcare center.
We began meeting with partners of the ministry and sharing our vision for the new buildings. They were so convinced of the urgency of this project that in 1 month, we raised 1/3 of our goal. The first step was to demolish the old building to make way for the 4,500 square foot home and the 1,600 square foot childcare and counseling center. We anticipate construction to be finished by the end of 2020, and we have a projected move-in date of January of 2021. We are amazed at how God has provided. The buildings that will soon emerge on this site will not only double our capacity, but these buildings, by their very existence, will challenge every person who comes to expect the impossible. The transformation of this site will be no less miraculous than the lives of the people that it has served in the past and will serve in the future. To date, we have raised $2.2 million, and we still need to raise $1 million. We know that that is a great deal of money, but we can do this together. We believe it's our obligation to provide people who want to change with the opportunity to change. Right now, we have women and children lined up waiting to come in. You see, this is about more than buildings. This is about responding to a call. In the beginning of every great vision, there are forerunners, those who see what's possible and take steps to turn it into a reality. Today, I invite you to be a forerunner, to make something possible that doesn't yet exist. Together, we can make room.
So that's it, guys. You heard it. We are building 2 new buildings, and we cannot wait to get started. You know, sometimes when amazing things like this happen, we can get lost in the details and forget that it's really about the people. In just a minute, I'm going to introduce you to Lacey, who is a graduate of our program, and she has an incredible story to share with you about how her life was totally transformed.
It's just really bittersweet when somebody asks me to tell my story. I know firsthand what Jesus has done in my life and the transformation that he's done in my life. And being able to get to tell it is exciting, because I hope firsthand that it touches somebody that needs to be touched. When I came in, I was coming out of making so many choices, terrible choices that affected me in the worst way. I remember coming out of so many unsuccessful trips in jail and in rehabs, and I remember just coming out of there still feeling really lost and still feeling not knowing where to go from that point. And it didn't stop there. I continued to make bad choice after bad choice because I didn't have any guidance, and I didn't have I didn't have some support in that. And so eventually it landed me 3 months pregnant in prison, which was awful and so disheartening. And I'd question myself constantly, how did I get here? I grew up with a great family that loved me, but how did I end up here? How did I end up making such awful decisions? And how am I going to be a good mom? Where am I going to go from here? And eventually I gave birth to a beautiful little girl in that prison, and what an experience it was. But when I got released from that prison, I still didn't have support, and I still didn't have the guidance that I needed to learn to make better choices. And eventually it didn't take long, and I was right back into drugs and alcohol and toxic relationships and whatever it was. But eventually I lost custody of Peyton, which was the worst. I was devastated. I wanted so badly to be a good mom, and I didn't know how to do that. And when I finally had the opportunity over months and years, I eventually got the opportunity to, I heard about Powerhouse from a friend of ours, and I was scared. I was totally scared. I didn't know what that was gonna look like. It was out of state. I'd never lived out of state before. I didn't know anybody in California, but I knew that I couldn't stay where I was at. And so when I moved into Powerhouse, it was a totally different experience. It was learning about a God I didn't know about, and that was new. It was learning to live in community in a totally different way other than jails and prison. It was learning to be really vulnerable, and that's scary. It was learning to step out and take risks, and that's really, really scary, especially when you don't know the outcome. But in Powerhouse, I learned so much. I learned how to be loved. I learned how to love. I came into Powerhouse, and Peyton didn't get to come with me for the first couple of months, but I'm so grateful that I had that time to work on myself. And eventually she came after Christmas time, and it was the best. And she hasn't left since. And that is really exciting, and that is a proud moment for me, that I get to be the mom that I wanted to be, and that it's just really special. I learned that I have a purpose, and I learned that I have an identity that has been, chosen for me. By saying yes to Powerhouse, ultimately I was saying yes to my life looking totally different. It was saying yes to sobriety, being clean almost 6 years. It was saying yes to rebuilding relationships that had been so broken, and learning to grow in relationships and have healthy relationships that I'd never have before. By saying yes to Powerhouse, I was saying yes to stepping out and volunteering at the Multiple Sclerosis Achievement Center and building rapport there and showing up. And eventually they created a job for me where I get to learn about a disease that could be really ugly and progressive, but yet still get to encourage and motivate and love the people around me, and how to live the best quality of life for people living with MS. By saying yes to Powerhouse, I get to be a homeowner. I get to cook and live in a home and be a good steward of the things that the Lord has totally blessed me with. And without him, I wouldn't have been able to do that on my own. By saying yes to Powerhouse, I get to step fully into being the best mom to Peyton. There is so many I love yous and a ton of I don't know what I'm doing, but together we're gonna figure this out. And many, wow, I really messed up. I'm sorry, and will you forgive me? And I wouldn't have been able to do that before. Saying I'm sorry and asking for forgiveness terrified me to the core. And now I'm able to be vulnerable and say, wow, I messed up. And I'm still loved, and I love you, and we're gonna figure this out. And saying yes to Powerhouse really has transformed my heart. That I don't live in that shame anymore. I don't live with those insecurities. Life happens and things come up, and the thought of having to be perfect comes up quite a bit, and guess what? I don't have to hang out there anymore. I trust that the Lord loves me right where I am, and I trust that the Lord he accepts me, and it isn't about how much I work. Depends on how much he loves me, and that's something that I have learned firsthand by having the people around me invest in me and guide me and grow me in ways that I wouldn't have had otherwise. I am so excited to be getting to do this, because there are so many women just like me.
Every time I hear a story like Lacey's and Peyton's, I'm reminded of why we do this and why we need to offer this opportunity to even more women and children.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of making more room and you want to impact a life like Lacey's and Peyton's, I encourage you to give generously to this project.
Today, Powerhouse is looking to raise $1 million by December 31st of this year in order to fully fund this project to completion. If you'd like to make a donation even right now, you can visit us online at phmfolsom.org/give. In the designation section, you'll want to write the letters PTC to make your donation to this campaign.
This project began as a dream, and there are some very important key players and partners who made this dream into a reality. I want you to meet some of them.
Hi, I'm Beth Kang. I'm the Executive Director of HOMEAID Sacramento. Our mission is to build and maintain dignified housing where those experiencing homelessness can rebuild their lives.
Hi, I'm Aaron Bazzacco with Taylor Morrison. We're proud to be involved with the Powerhouse Transformation Center here in Folsom. Our company builds hundreds of homes throughout the Sacramento area, and our employees love to give back to the community. One of the ways we give back is to build something. So we're here, we've demoed, we're excited to get started on a 40-bed shelter for women and children here in the Folsom area.
Hi, my name's Karen West with Studio 81 International, and I'm here at the site of the Transformation Center by Powerhouse Ministries. We are so excited to be involved with this project and help them with the architecture because they do amazing work for some incredible women and their children.
Hi, my name is Brian Motherall with Republic Elite Integration. We're a sister company to Republic Electric West in Sacramento. We're very thankful and blessed to be part of this and very happy to help out.
I'm Bryce Robichaud with Citadel Roofing and Solar. Thank you, HOMEAID Sacramento. Thank you, Taylor Morrison Homes. And thank you, Powerhouse Ministries, for allowing us to be a part of this amazing project.
Hi, my name's Carl Fletcher. I'm with Fletcher Plumbing Company. Powerhouse Ministries, they provide hope at a time when a lot of these folks, they've lost all their hope. They don't have hope.
And what we're looking forward to and hope you will celebrate with us is when the women and the children and the staff move back in and they have their new home.
Well, Valerie and I have been involved with Powerhouse maybe, 15 or 20 years, more in the periphery. You're not terribly active with them, right?
I know our pastor introduced us to Powerhouse probably 17, 18 years ago, and always look for what's happening in our community. And we are so thankful for Powerhouse.
Yeah, and I think it's interesting how our journeys, our personal journey's been the last number of years. We've tried to raise our children faithfully within the church and whatnot, and we were looking forward to our empty nest years, and our youngest had just gone off to college, and we're also kind of at a time, what does God have in store for us? And interesting, sometimes how God works. He brought these two beautiful young women into our lives, these girls, that needed a home. They were foster girls. We had never discussed in our entire marriage ever bringing in foster kids or anything like that. But suddenly there were these two beautiful girls that needed a home. And so 3.5 years ago, these two girls became part of our family. And we adopted these two girls, and they came from the community. They're from this community. From parents that have pretty severe drug problems. And so through this process, just even watching how the mother had lost the rights to her children, and we just watched how that whole process was, and the girls lost their mother. It was quite painful. And then a year or so ago, we got a call from someone at Powerhouse saying, hey, can we get together? I want to talk about this project that's going on. And as we heard about the project, the Transformation Center have grown from being able to serve 20 women up to 40 women. It was just right along, I think, what we were looking for, right?
And I would just say how cool God is. The world gives us a lot of invitations. My husband's been really faithful in his business and successful in that, and the world gives us a lot of places that we can spend that money. So when we have those temptations, I love God's timing that we get an invitation to join something way more meaningful in our community. And so super thankful, because where your treasure is, your heart is. And the people at Powerhouse are our heroes. I mean, they are doing the work. We feel like they're doing the work, and we're doing a part that's helpful. But I wish I was in their shoes sometimes. It's, again, we love ministries around the world, but we have a lot of need right in our own community. And so we are fortunate to have a place like Powerhouse to invest in.
And for me, it was, God's design was for our two daughters to be with their birth mother. That's His design. And the brokenness and the addiction and whatnot is what caused the situation as they're in today, which is a beautiful outcome for them, but clearly not for the mom. And I thought for us, by us being able to participate here, maybe in some way, the next mother that has a substance abuse issue and some other issues, she'll have a place where she can go, so she can not only be reunited with her children, but be able to thrive and raise the children in a healthy way.
Yeah, we are so thankful for the stories, for the people we've met, for the hard work they do, for all the programs that's put around them for success, that these women can make it. There are so many success stories, and we love investing in a place that will give that for more families. Every family deserves that.
Yeah, and I know that many more women are going to be restored and come out healthy and have an opportunity because of this new building.
Wow, thank you guys so much for the incredible support. It's amazing to see partner after partner and all you guys bring to the table. It truly, we're so blessed to have you on our team, so thank you for working so hard. Hey, for another way, if you're still looking to get involved with this project, I'm here with Kevin Hauk, our residential director, and he's going to share about another way you can help.
There have been so many people involved in this, and we had this idea of not only representing who all has been here, but actually looking forward to who will be moving in.
Yeah.
And in order to do that, we created these hearts and began to pen prayers and words of encouragement and declarations about what is going to happen on this site to the actual fence while it's under construction. And those stand as a visual reminder of not all that what has gone before, but what is literally being sowed into this ground, into this new project. And we have loved seeing those hearts and prayers take shape.
Yes, so if you would like to join our staff and our residents and volunteers in visiting us at 705 Wales Drive here in Folsom, we have all the supplies laid out there right at the gate. But if you'd like to leave a note or a prayer or a word of encouragement to a resident or future resident of this project, please come out and do so.
Yeah, and for more information about that or anything that you've seen here before, please visit us at phmfolsom.org. Thanks so much for joining us today. It has been a wild party and a celebration worth having.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. We'll see you guys later.